I have a 5-year-old son who is capable of making better decisions, and I'm less concerned with welfare decisions than with the social conditioning crippling this nation. And that religion is a tool. A book on its own will cause no problem. That takes human interaction. When was the last time you saw a book pick a fight, let alone start a war? Although it seems they find the Quran at every bomb site. Maybe it's not ISIS or Muslims that are the problem, it's the fucking books. They've heard about Kindle and it's given them a fright. Just like AI, it's all fun and games till they're stealing your life. And they're right, Kindle's after their birthright. No. On a serious note, religions have never been a problem, it's how they're used. Guns don't kill people, people do, and it's so true. I know good Christians and bad Christians, good Muslims and bad Muslims, good Buddhists and bad Buddhists. The religion is not the common denominator. Their perspectives, beliefs and motivations are. Religions are a tool to guide the mind, soul and heart. They're not meant to be used to tear them apart. Like a hammer is meant to hit nails, but capable of making life depart. When the men behind these religions' motivations are dark, then religion will be the fuel to their evil spark. Even then, if I'd lived their life, would I be any different to them? What makes boys strap bombs to themselves before they're even men? It's the life they've been through, or maybe groomed into. It's extremely difficult for them to eschew. Imagine if the water ran out in this town, the crops dried up and brown, imports slowed down due to financial collapse of the pound, jobs none around and the rich locked themselves away, policed and safe with civil war counts down. With no money or resources to fight a war, borrowing from interested parties becomes the only door, but the interest to be paid is twice what was bargained for. The town is in mayhem as the fight to survive has increased, but people's inner beast is unsheathed as they fight to feast. Families and friends that once stood together are now fractured as they begin to kill each other. But there's not enough food and water to go around, trying to protect their own families in fear of the blood-curdling sound of bombs hitting ground, and that's only half as terrifying as what's going down in some of these Syrian towns. So is it any wonder these people are risking their own families being drowned in the search for a better life to be found? Who wouldn't want to escape a city filled with the dead bodies of loved ones? Daughters and sons, where children's bodies are heaped together as one. For fuck's sake, people, have we really lost all our compassion and empathy, to the point our souls have become apathetic and empty? We treat the entire planet like it's not organic, rape it of its resources and then panic even though there is plenty. The way we treat living things angers me. We've no right to act so selfishly. Don't you see that everything is connected? We live symbiotically. Our karma creates an odd shape when we live apathetic to the world state. And ISIS makes me feel no fear. As fear is fight or flight, and no amount of running or fighting can make this right. It takes compassion and understanding and foresight. But that intense feeling that gets your head spinning has meaning. It gives you energy to fight the apathy and actually achieve something. And we should start right here with each other. Show respect and try and help one another. Not argue, but respect our neighbour's view. Find common ground and use it as glue, because solidarity and caring is how we should be preparing for the states in the world that we're now seeing emerging. And for more than just the atrocities of the East, as there are plenty of war-torn countries with issues unceased, and giving money to charity is not an answer. This money is dissipated by the people who take it. Red Cross spent $500 million on 6 houses. That's proper shit. I help those in need, I just refuse to outsource it. So in these times, let's be grateful for what we have. I know if we watch the news, life seems pretty bad, but our lives are relatively comfortable, and for that we should be glad. Nearly every wise man and culture since the beginning of time has echoed these words. I'm not even the first to put it into a verse. King David spoke of giving thanks to everything between the heaven and the earth. Lao Tzu, rejoice in the way things are and the world will belong to you. Muhammad said gratitude for abundance is the best insurance it will continue. And epigenetics says that what you believe creates you. So be careful of what's around you as your surroundings dramatically affect your view. So it's time our thought process is switched. Reframe the mundane to relinquish the pain caused by the thoughts that our minds sustain. And don't judge ourselves by media images, as comparing ourselves to others is a route to unhappiness. And this is why the world is like this. We've been conditioned to believe in lack, when actually abundance is fact. So let's dance along the correlation between music and the quantum vibration, stating that all matter is merely energy and information, universally sounding the on that's vibrating at the same wavelength as when we're all concentrating. Or this beautiful melody that we're all encased in. Listening to the birdsong, my mind begins to take shape and realise that this life is not about how to survive, but to tune ourselves into this rhythm and jive. Like a wave in the sea, I was born to be an individual, but the sea of unity will always be within me. When I start searching deeply, all power comes from our connectivity. Take a cup of water and its power is drained. Place it back in the sea and its power is reclaimed. Meditation's the way we reconnect the wave. Conditioning's the cup that makes us all slaves. So sing your song of beauty, reconnect and be free from the mental block of energy that's acting as the cup in your path to your dharma and true ties. Please, guys.
So that's the headlines, each projecting their own stream of consciousness that stemmed from sensational headlines from established press. This is a work in progress, a framework. So we and they hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
I can see that becoming a play, guys. I really enjoyed it. Nice one. Excellent. Loved it. See, another warm hand for James and Rob, everyone. Okay, so before we go back into the slam, and we have the last, we have the 5 finalists, the five more people coming on for the second round, who are Pete Donahue, Phil Collins, Chris, Rob, and Robin. So we're really looking forward to that, right? Yeah. One guy. That guy over there is looking forward to it. Don't know about the rest of you, but he is. He's loving it. Look at his top. That top, pink and blue. That says I'm going to go anywhere and be happy. It does, and I love you for it. This poem is called "Real Boy." My fiancé calls me Pinocchio, and we laugh because we both know the story. I lit a fire. I made the whale sneeze, but somehow got snagged on a tooth. They say that a boy needs to roll in the ashes before he can be a man. I'm still finding soot in pleats and embers in breast pockets. Sometimes when I speak to people I get nervous of judgment, of feeling inadequate. But then I notice a trail of dust behind them, and I know I'm not alone. Thank you. Okay, so first up to the stage, a warm hand for Pete Donahue, everybody.
Already again.
Well, I'm not sure I agree with Lucas's idea that my first poem was somber, because to me it's a celebration, and I hope that for you that was a celebration. Tiny wee bits. That's it, you can't read a poem without tight bits. Okay, so this time I'm just going to read a kind of poem that I wrote, which is a celebration of Hastings, because this is a fucking amazing town. And yeah, you can share that. Hastings is a fucking amazing town. Like, who didn't know that? Come on. My town is wonderful. From the woman who races the streets all day long, talking incessantly in a high-pitched voice to her dog on his lead, like he is her child, or her father, or God. To the guy who shuffles in soft shoes and smile that could so easily be ecstasy itself, beneath eyes of bliss as he follows the music. And my town is a town of endless music. My town is wonderful. From the graceful lady caked in makeup, pushing a child's pram all through the early hours with a painted doll in lieu of her dead baby and the comfort of blankets, crocheted in grief. To the man who promenades on Battenberg cake flagstones with a hop and a skip at every third step, and a shriek of delight to celebrate life. And my town is a town of continuous celebration. My town is wonderful, from the naked cyclists and the long-haired dude with the beard and updo who wears clinging miniskirts and carries a parasol, and at the Old Town bike race shed his clothes, taking that hill in the roar, to the Edwardian gent who defined the hipster look 20 years before it was hip. Crumpled white suit and whiskers, silver-topped cane and gold fob, plodding a barefoot beat. And my town is a town of colourful streets. My town is wonderful! From the shell-shocked marine, handing out free cocktails on the beach in floral dress and flip-flops, yet woe betide anyone who crosses him, as the nightclub bouncers soon found out. To the sad junkies who commune in alleyways, losing their looks to livid age, and their livers to gangrene, their limbs to gangrene, on those skunk-stale streets. Yet these are our people too, and my town is a town brimming with human compassion. My town is wonderful, from the boy in the supermarket, dancing in the aisles, to the voices he hears, singing from cereal packets, especially the offers, 3 for 2 and bog off. As his mother loads her trolley with bottles and cans to get trolleyed to the midnight street pastors, shepherding our children, partying in heels and pigeon toes, to save them from disasters, and not the devil at all. Simple people, concerned with community. And my town is a town of real community.
I have to agree with that, Pete. I've been here. Another warm hand for Pete Donahue, everybody. I agree with you, Pete. I've been here a year, and when I first moved here, I wasn't sure. It was a new town to me. I'm from Tunbridge Wells, which is almost culturally dead, apart from, unless you have a lot of money. Whereas down here, there's so much going on and so much community that you don't see in other places. If you've lived in Hastings all your life and you think there's not much going on here, go anywhere else and then come back and tell me that. Yeah, there's so much going on here, it's so rich, and I love it. I want to spend the rest of my life here. I love it, and I love Hastings, so to Hastings and to Pete. Sweet. Okay, so next up to the stage, scores, I forgot about the scores. Okay, so what have we got? We've got a 9. We've got a 8.9. We've got a 9. We've got an 8. And we have an 8. Okay, so top score off, bottom score off, add the middle 3 up. How are we doing for time, Emma? 12 seconds over. So that's 1 point deducted from the final score. How are we doing, Rob?
1 moment.
Sweet. It's not as easy as it looks.
25.9.
25.9, that's a very good score. Awesome score, well done, Pete. Sweet. Up next, we have to the stage, Mr. Phil Collins. Warm hand for Phil, everybody.
Hello again. Hello. It's the first time I've ever done this. I've written out to read one poem. The only other poem I can remember is this one. The compere will be pleased to hear it's a love poem. It's called A Night in the Royal Morgue. Did I, in tiara and floral smock, rape the Queen Mother's corpse? Or did the Queen Mother's corpse rape me? The truth is neither. We made love. For when I kissed the corpse kissed back. A clammy kiss of cloth and sack, the putrid taste of pasternak decay and worms and love. Her ginger hair, like silken flax, a tart in cheap mortician's wax, with what a living lover lacks, attraction without pain. She looked at me with empty eye, as if to say to love's to die, for if this love can satisfy, then death itself is life. For in that ghostly mortuary, she schooled me in debauchery. Effortlessly, soullessly, she stole my heart away. And as she lay in calm repose, I watched my lover decompose, till from the slab like Christ she rose and fucked me in the head.
We've all been there, haven't we? Let's face it. Warm hand for Phil Collins, everybody. We have a 9. We have an 8. We have an 8.7, another 9, and a 6.8. 8.8. Cool. You got that, Rob?
Yeah.
Brilliant. How are we doing for time? Yeah, in time. Okay, cool. How's it going, Rob? It's really hard doing the scores.
It's the most mad calculator I've ever come
Is it really? That's what it is. It's the calculator. We can blame the calculator. They don't have
Not making
feelings.
any excuses, but it's kind of fun to know. There's too many buttons.
Where's the anticipation guy gone? He's disappeared. And even back. He's gone. Okay, so the scores are.
Scores are 26.5.
26.5, that's a very good score. Sweet, well done, Phil. Okay, up to the stage next, we have Chris. Warm hand for Chris, everyone. MC Chris.
Yeah, also having forgotten to prepare a second poem, I'm going to have to perform one that I wrote a long, long time ago in school. I never really thought about what I got taught, because I sooner spent my time in a holiday resort. All I ever did at school was get bored, and then I came home with a bad school report. It was one of those days, I was in a classroom, it was lunch break, it was noon. I'm hungry, really want to go, teacher's making us stay in. I don't have much to be saying about school, except I got an F in English. There's just 2 weeks left till we write a test about Macbeth, and I'm probably going to fail it again. I forgot the rest. Thank you.
I forget my poems all the time, but of course that was part of the art. He didn't really forget anything. That was the punchline. So it's sweet. Warm hand for Chris, everyone. Let's see the scores. So we have an 8.5. Very good score. We have an 8. Excellent score. 7.8. A 9. And one more.
So again, sorry.
An 8. Is that an 8?
Hold them up once.
Awesome. One more time, guys. We've got an 8.5. We've got an 8. We've got a 9. We've got another 8. And a 7. Excellent. Where did that 7 just pop from? I swear that wasn't the 7 before. Oh, okay, sorry, I misread it. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's good scores. Good scores. Okay, so how do we do for time then? Yeah? Oh, okay, oh yeah, obviously within time. Okay, sweet. And how about scores?
24.3.
24.3, excellent score. Cool. Aren't we lucky? Aren't we lucky to have so many good poets here tonight? It's amazing. And do you know what? The mood is different tonight, but I'm actually warming to it. I think the mood tonight is different from last time, but it's equally good. It's a great mood. It's more thoughtful. And it's lower key, but that's great. It's good. I'm liking it. Woo. Sweet. Okay, so, before I babble on any further, we have to the stage Rob, everybody! Warm up for Rob!
Hello again. Okay. Just to clarify any confusion. Where's it going? This means that I'm holding a cup of hallucinogenic mushroom tea. Just in... There's no more. There's only enough for the performance, Lucas. It's called Mushroom Tea Testimony. Give me back my mushroom tea. I've barely had a trip. What have you done with my mushroom tea? I need to escape this wretched tip. Hang on, that is my mushroom tea. Look at all the colours I can see. My God, I no longer know if I am me, or you are me, or you are me, or you are me, or if he's me, he's me, he's me, he's me, he's me. But to you, you are I. To you, I am me. Yes, you are. To you, you are I. To I am me. We are all they. We are all they. We are all them. We are all those. We are all... Me. You. I don't like this mushroom tea. It's terrifying to be free. We should all leave the mind well alone. We should all leave the mind well alone and remain confined to schemes and schedules and absurd rituals, continuing the constant game of hide and seek with ourselves and not question the meaning of you or I or me and just enjoy your mushroom tea. It's all happening in your mind after all. Thank you. Okay, one more quick one. If I'm still in time, but that'll be my penance. And it's called I No Longer Write Poetry Whilst Drunk. I no longer write poetry whilst drunk for several... I'll start again. No. I no longer write poetry whilst drunk for several reasons most wordsmiths can sympathise with. If whiskey drunk, I'll rant remorselessly about every rotten bastard I've ever met and all the ills of the world I claim to have a cure for. If gin drunk, my verses veer towards the pitiful and pathetic pontifications of self-hating haiku-esque hideousness. On beer, I barely write a word. Rum renders rhyming into relentlessly ridiculous attempts at taming one's inner artistic self, leaving an aftermath of inherent cringing. When wine drunk, one wants to seem sophisticated, composing sonnets, villanelles and verses of profundity. Brandy brings out the bard within the mirror of the drunk. I can't speak for schnapps because schnapps is fucking horrible. And I've never managed more than the out of courtesy, polite, sometimes flirty glass. The same applies for vodka. Sometimes. Bourbon's always been my favourite, at least when drinking it is. So then, friends, which poison produced this piece of shit? Stupid old drunk. Lovely old drunk. Drink, 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 let's have a drink. Thank you.
Has anyone here ever had one of Rob's drinks? You had?
Yeah.
Which one did you have?
The first one.
The first one?
Yeah.
They're good, aren't they?
So good.
Yeah, they're amazing. If you ever get a chance to come here, is it on a Friday night, Rod? Yeah? On a Friday night, he's in the corner, he does cocktails, and they're the best cocktails I've ever had. And he entertains you while he's doing it, which is fantastic. So if you get a chance to come down on Friday nights here and have one of his cocktails, do it, because it's amazing. Okay, so the scores. What are the scores? George scores. 10. 8. 10? That's amazing. 8.
Hers was sideways.
And 7. And infinity, yeah. Sweet. Well, there's one here and they're not holding it up. The one okay, so we've got a 10, we've got a 9, we've got an 8, we've got a 8, and we've got a 7.
2 8s.
2 8s.
Nice.
Sweet. Okay, we got there in the end. This is really doing my head in, man. Seriously. Okay, we've got it, Okay, so how are we doing for time? 2 minutes 57. Excellent timing. And while I'm waiting for the score, I just want to mention that we have Bookbusters at the back here, and what they've done is, guys, I'm going to do my tea tree thing now. I'm going to wait for your attention. Okay? It's just, okay, I'll wait, it's fine. You can have your little conversation. Alright, I'll wait.
Bells for me.
Okay, bounce with me. Sweet. Okay, we have, at the back, we have Tim, who's brought loads of his poetry books down. He's selected them, he's sat at home and selected them all out. He's brought them down, yeah? So, go and have a look. When you have a chance, go and have a look. Get a book, find one you like, loads of poets, yeah? Go and have a little gander and see if you like one and see if you want to take it home. Alright? What are the scores, Rob?
25.
25. Excellent scoring. Rob! Oh my god! That was quick. Oh my god, I've never seen someone change that much that quickly.
So drunk.
I wish I was. Drunk. Okay, so, sorry? I will do, afterwards, yeah. I'm having problems adding, doing numbers now. If I get drunk, there's no chance. Okay, so, scores. We've done that. 25. Excellent scores. Nice one. 25. Cool. Okay, so, up next, we have Robin Renwick, everybody. Robin Renwick. Last but not least.
Okay, guys, can you hear me? Yeah. This one's called One Evening. And so I asked her, "Are you ready for a mug of coffee or a cup of tea?" She smiled and said, "I would have hoped for more." I'm telling you, the way she smiled at me, I couldn't have resisted if I'd tried. I smiled, she laughed, I took her hand, and we were suddenly like surfers on a tide who ride a force that cannot be controlled and live a truth that cannot be denied. We sat and talked until the air grew cold and distant streetlights glimmered in the dark, and then, when all our stories had been told, went back to her apartment by the park. She had led me to believe she lived alone, but later on, I heard a chance remark while she was talking on the telephone. And heated words. She was becoming more distracted. There was something in her tone, and then there was a banging on the door, and since I find it hard to deal with fear, I thought it best to slip away before the pub across the road stopped serving beer. She seemed to have forgotten about me, and it was rapidly becoming clear our night of ecstasy was not to be. I didn't even get a cup of tea.
Excellent poem, well done, that's sweet, I loved it. And I love your voice, I can't get enough of it. I really want to take you home and make you read bedtime stories to me. It's amazing, I could listen to that voice all day. Okay, so, what are the scores? Let's have a look at the scores. We've got an 8.5, we've got a 9, we've got another 9. We've got a 9.5 and a 9.7. They are fantastic scores. Okay, so time. How's time? Time's good? Cool. Good. And who's doing the scores now? Is it Rob?
Yeah, unfortunately so, yeah.
That's okay, Rob. We all understand. I'm crap at maths, so I can't add that. Cool. Okay.
27.5.
27.5. That is the best score. I think that's the best score we have. So I think, is that, who's the winner? I think that's
Robin's the winner.
Is Robin the winner? And the prize is you get to come home and read bedtime stories to me! Yeah! So what we're going to do, Robin, if you'd like to accept our request, we'd like you to come next week and do 20, sorry, not next week, next, it's actually, the next one's going to be at the end of January. If you're free at the end of January, we're going to have a little break for Christmas, come back in January. Will you be free to perform? You don't have to answer now, I don't want to put you on the spot, but the offer's out there. So we'd love to have you. Sweet. And we're around for the winner of the slam! Everybody ready? Yes! I'm going to take this little chance before I introduce the next act, before I introduce Gary Murphy, who is amazing. Did anyone see who here saw Gary Murphy last time? Yeah? Isn't he great? He's good, right? Yeah? 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 Yeah! Is Gary Murphy good or not? Yes! Okay, sweet. We're having a few issues. I think some people are half asleep, but it's alright. It's allowed this time of year. It's fine. Okay, so I'm just going to do a couple of little poems before I introduce Gary, because I like to get them in. I like to share. Has anyone here ever heard of a poet called Basquiat? Jean-Michel Basquiat? Yeah, one person. Yeah, Samo, yeah. Do you know what that stands for? Same old shit. Yeah. Oh, it's fantastic. So you'll understand this. Everyone else will just over the head. But this is called A Letter to Basquiat, my favourite artist. I love him so much. His work it speaks to me. Okay. This is called A Letter to Basquiat. Images juxtaposed. Images just a pose for those who wish to see it. Impoverished young artist, paint-spattered suit, undercover bum, cardboard boxed in Central Park, using the spoon in your mouth to cook up with, working in a basement, listening to bird and mimicking his wings with paint, turning turmoil into treasure troves and dissonance to clarity, giving eyes to grotesque human forms that they may see themselves for what they really are, ridiculous, powerful creatures carved from the city landscape, or screaming out one word. If something's said too many times, it will not sound the same. Now they wear your crown on baseball caps and do not know your name. Thank you. This is called Avoiding Cliches. He approached me after the reading, a leather satchel over one shoulder and a sizable chip on the other. He said, "I really like your work, but don't you think it would be a better idea to avoid cliches?" With a sinuous smile, he mingled. Taking his advice, I snubbed him for the remainder of the evening. Ooh, it's a thinker. Thank you. If you have to say it's a thinker at the end of the poem, it's really not. Okay. This is called Battling Myself. flows in time. I am the energy. All eyes on me, I'm climbing steadily. My voice etched in your mind indelibly, one of a kind of pedigree. Top dog, better believe that no one betters me. You are a mere reflection of all I will ever be. I fumble my lines. The ground moves from under me. Illusions come tumbling down, the truth humbles me. My confidence is crumbling now, I'm too stunned to speak, left wondering how I was ever the one to beat the once undefeated wonder, knocked clean off my feet, reduced to a crumpled heap in the mirror in front of me. Thank you. Without further ado, please introduce Gary Murphy to the stage, everybody! Woo! Keep it going, come on, come on!
So what's this prick got to say for himself? You may wonder. In an age of universal deceit, telling the truth becomes a revolutionary act. That was said by George Orwell. For I've been searching for the truth, which was hidden in plain sight, trying to reconcile the riddles and the puzzles of our perennial plight. Then I had me an epiphany in which I gained some rare insight that our souls come and our souls go, but it's always the same old shite that keeps us caught in this culture of fear. Yet when we peel back its veneer, deceit and deception show clear. Through all the lies we've been told, while we're subdued, suppressed and controlled, to produce and consume till we're old. For it's a game that takes its toll when you're enslaved in a chain of control. Now it's time to wake up, sleeping soul, to the corruption, the scandal, the sleaze, the divide and rule, just as they please, the enforcing of agendas with ease. For the truth shall set us free to determine our own destiny. For the blind lead the blind, don't you see? Has anyone got any positive alcohol stories they'd like to share?
It's fun.
Subjective. I'll crack on then. Ode to the drunkards. Drown sorrows in fear and spirits and beer, in barrooms and ballrooms where dreams disappear, and imbibe the good cheer till nothing is clear, while onions in pickle jars drift in their tears. And with the grape and the grain you can pickle your brain, and with the hops and the barley you can numb all your pain. And pub crawl and brawl till the hours are small, and swagger and stagger and piss up the wall. For the laws they make lax when there's a liquor to tax, and if you choose to abuse, you're forced to face facts. For your whiskey, your gin, your mother's ruin, that left her bitter and twisted and ugly as sin. For it's a tool of control that takes heavier toll on livers and kidneys, on hearts, minds and souls. So ferment and distill and drink yourselves ill, for there's profit in poison and coffers to fill. Few existential riddles of life. Because I'm feeling alienated and excommunicated from the others and brothers of I. Always in a hurry and always in a worry and working like an ass till I die. And it's a riddle of life. I see prophets making profit, yet there's pennies in the pockets of the pious bending over to pray. There's a warning on the packet, it's a charismatic racket, saying Jesus is the only way. And it's a riddle of life. And with the weather very variable, APR unbearable, with sorrows in unlimited supply, When the Saviour comes to save us, will it be subject to status? Will terms and conditions apply? And it's a riddle of life. In debt we're sinking deeper, but the drugs are getting cheaper. As the game's getting harder to play. Love is on a ration, and compassion's out of fashion, and sorry's getting harder to say. And it's a riddle of life. So we slave for fiat money in the land of milk and honey as it's fallen into moral decay. It's such a sorry plight, but things are never black or white. It's all just different shades of grey. And a riddle of life. I see fat cats getting fatter, yet the scraps upon the platters of the poor who wail out why. They read the daily scripture, they think the bigger picture's just to chase a bigger slice of the pie. And it's a riddle of life. And by now, we're all so sick of all those sociopathic, sycophantic, sanctimonious, surreptitious, sinister, satanic, self-serving serpents in suits, spouting spin doctor soundbites and psychobabble, and the occult in which they dabble. For with the rabble whittle cause for a fray, with a message to remind that they're messing with your minds, that they're fucking with your DNA. And it makes a riddle of life. For now the masses are getting quizzical of all that's metaphysical, their lives feeling empty and dry. They're seeking a solution to all the mind pollution and finding answers in the spiritual sky. To solve all your riddles of life. The next offering's all about the challenges we can face when attempting to live life outside the box. Dare to be different and face ridicule, be subject to slander, be labelled a fool. Conform to consensus they teach you in school, and when you dare to be different, oh, the kids can be cruel. But what will the others think? The unspoken word. If I speak my truth, will my voice be heard? Will it cause a stink? Will I sound absurd? But what will the others think? The mantra of the herd. Dare to be different from the clones and the drones. Be audacious, courageous to leave your comfort zones. Be daring, be fearless to leave those you've outgrown. Be matchless, be peerless. Step out on your own. But what will the others think? The unspoken word. Now I've lost my youth, will I look a nerd? Will this violet shrink when its soul is bared? But what will the others think? The mantra of the herd. Dare to be different, or do as you're told. Have courage of conviction, it's worth more than gold. Reject all restriction, be brazen, be bold. Break out of the box, son, you're never too old. But what will the others think? The unspoken word. Will I seem uncouth when my secret's shared? Will I tend to drink? Will my speech be slurred? But what will the others think? The mantra of the herd. So dare to be different in the clothes that you wear, in your views and opinions, in the style of your hair. The burden of judgment, a cross not to bear. So express your uniqueness and have not a care of what the others think. The unspoken word. Will I seem aloof that I've never cared? Will I lose my link if the facts are blurred? But what will the others think? The mantra of the herd. Of all the many facets of fear, that's probably one of the biggies, isn't it? Peer pressure. I've climbed aboard a pending fare. I'm on this train of thought that's going nowhere, driving me deep to depths of dark despair. To a destination unknown, easy in the comfort zone. Excitement high, emotions low. We yearn to learn, we seek to grow. For we've made our bed, we've dug our graves. We're all indentured money slaves. We bought some big lies and sold our souls for rules and regulation, laws and legislation, restriction and control. Vis-a-vis the tip-top tribe, in a state of perpetual lack, running in the rat race, running with the pack, the weight of the world to carry on your back in a constant state of flight or attack. While Saturn weeps and Saturn crawls, its lessons are hard, there's many a fall. Heed its weary wake-up call to embrace our dark sides, warts and all. For our history of slavery to overlords of entropy, to our awakening divinity, is meant to be, is prophecy. All change, a light here. No pain, no gain, no fear. All change, a light here. No blame, no shame. Right here. I'm sure you've all now noticed, I'm very much aware of the drama that's unfolding on our planet fair. Once upon a timeline, spawned in bloodline rare, formed a new world order, an Orwellian nightmare. For in the third dimension, power is the snare, for souls beyond redemption, with hearts beyond repair. Deception from Obama to Cameron, from Brown to Bush to Blair, working through their karma, causing quite a stir. Sowing seeds of hatred and reaping what they sow, waging wars within, without, fueled by false ego. And the force of love, courage and truth shall set us free to take us above the tyranny. The force of love, courage and truth shall set us free from the shackles of our slavery. Mesmerise the masses with gadgets and software, feed all their addictions, all that they can bear. Sedate them in suburbia to numb all their despair. Take them to dementia, need not to care. Fluoride in your water, chemtrails in the air. It's the dumbing down agenda, and it's a sinister affair. Vaccination voodoo, take it if you dare. HIV and swine flu equates to germ warfare. Message from the media, terror, strife and woe. Fear's all they feed you, because they don't want to let you know that the force of love, courage and truth shall set us free to take us above the tyranny. The force of love, courage and truth shall set us free from the shackles of our slavery. Thanks for listening.
Fantastic. Amazing. With all the little hiccups tonight, I think overall it's gone fantastically. It's gone really, really well. And this is the point of the evening where I'd like to thank all of the performers for coming up here and performing. Without you, it would just be me on stage talking utter crap, which I do that alright, don't I? But it's not what you come to see. You come to see the performers, and the performers are amazing. So warm hand for the performers, everyone. And, of course, a warm hand for the venue who put all this on for free. It's free. You just come together for free. So warm hand for the venue. A warm hand to the organisers who put all the money back into the night to make it even better for you next time. So warm hand to the organisers. And last but not least, a warm hand to you, the audience, for coming. Because, like everything else, without you, we wouldn't have a show. So, a warm hand for you, the audience. Thank you. Thank you very much, and see you at the end of January, everybody. See you then. Enjoy the vibe.